Joe, you take everything seriously. Don't take everything seriously.
Anyway.
Make me do a bottle flip. What did I say? Don't make...
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube and Facebook, where City play Huddersfield 1 o'clock,
on Facebook?
1:30 on Sunday. On Facebook, yeah. How did you not know? Big game in the Premier League. How do you reckon this one could go, Jack?
It's difficult because Huddersfield didn't have a great first game, obviously, against Chelsea. Obviously, losing 3-0 at home is never the best. So, especially first game of the season, you want to get off started well. And obviously, the performance as well. They didn't really show a lot, which isn't great for Huddersfield because a lot of good teams have come into the Premier League. Wolves have come in, Fulham have come in. Fresh new teams. So Huddersfield need to sort of try and get a result in this, which is going to be really difficult. To play Chelsea and Man City in your first two games is extremely difficult, and they're going to need to try and get something out of it because the poor performance they had on the weekend just gone. It doesn't look great for them in terms of the season. I know it's only one game, but you need to look at it as it is.
So having a look at Manchester City, they won the opening weekend away to Arsenal 2-0. Fantastic performance from them. Can you really see them progressing into this game against Huddersfield? Obviously, easier opposition, it's fair to say, no disrespect to Huddersfield, but can you only see it going one way, really?
I think so. I think Man City shown in that game against Arsenal. It wasn't their best performance, but it was certainly one of them performances where if you don't play well, you still get the result, and that's what the champions were of last season. That's how they did some games, and it's how they started the season this year. It's one of them games where they should win quite comfortably. I think maybe 3-0 or something like that, and get a few goals on the score sheet, and just try and get a few confidence in the players. I think Riyad Mahrez, if he scored in this game, that would great confidence for him. Just signing this season, and just getting kick starting. Obviously beating Arsenal is great, but they need to get the season and they need to perform against the lower oppositions as well.
Raheem Sterling scored that stunning goal on the opening weekend of the season. Obviously, he didn't perform amazing in the World Cup, but he seemed to do well last weekend. How important is a fit, firing Raheem Sterling for this Manchester City side?
Yeah, I think they've got loads of players that are quality and quality that they need in the squad at the same time. I think a lot of people criticise Raheem Sterling in the World Cup. I don't think some of the critiques were really necessary. He wasn't dreadful. Some players obviously were good. Obviously, the people have been talking about Harry Maguire and Jordan Pickford, but I think highlighting Raheem Sterling as somebody that wasn't, I think was a bit harsh on his point. I don't think he had a terrible World Cup. I think going back into this Man City squad, and obviously the manager that sort of helped him kickstart his career another level, Pep Guardiola. It's always important for players like that, and Raheem Sterling obviously scored on the weekend and great for him, but if he can kickstart and start scoring more goals, I think that's the one thing he's missing. He's missing that that final touch, them goals on the score sheet. To get over 15 goals a season would be immense for somebody like Raheem Sterling. So let's hope for him and for Man City fans he can do that.
Looking at Huddersfield, obviously you said before that lost 3-0 to your side Chelsea in the opening weekend of the season. How does David Wagner approach this game, really? Because obviously City are the favourites, but Huddersfield didn't perform despite getting beat to them last season too badly against Manchester City in either game. Do you think he should go through with the same sort of tactics as last season and try and bring the game to City, or do you think if he does that and doesn't play defensively, City are just going to walk all over him?
The thing is it's difficult. I mean, I think really they should just play the way that they play every other game. Going up against City is tough, but you saw with Newcastle at St James's Park last season against Man City, they just parked the bus for the whole of the first half, but still conceded a goal. And then they're like, well, we've been defending this whole time, and now we're still a goal behind. What are we doing here? So it makes it even more difficult because they're not on the attack for the whole game. So I think Huddersfield need to just play the way they are. I think defending for the whole game against Man City isn't actually the best tactic, because if they score, it's wasted 20 minutes that you've been doing that whole process. So I think you've just got to attack the game as they would, go on the attack. I think Man City struggle sometimes when players just go straight out. We saw what Liverpool did last season. They just put all the top players in that squad all firing immediately, and the City defence weren't sure what was going on. So I think that's how you approach the game, is just go all out attack, and if you lose 3-0, at least you give it a good go.
Oh, I was going to ask you for your score predictions, but you mentioned that early on. 3-0 Manchester.
3-0, I think Manchester City will be an easy victory for them, yeah.
I could see them scoring a few more. I was going to go for 5-0 Manchester City.
Goodness me.
Poor Huddersfield.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh.
So that's our Manchester City versus Huddersfield preview. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye.